Yeah, good morning, guys. We're going to try this again. Hopefully, the internet will hang in there with us. Um, Having some problems this evening with the internet. But, Mr. Hood, I want to let you know that we've got you up and going. I went ahead and fixed the bad LED, but I went ahead and replaced all three of them and changed them all out to blue since these all came out with red over the decades. But, anyhow, we've got you all squared away. We've redone the input and the output, so no more 5-watt reflect on the output, which that was what the main problem was when it came in. We went ahead and upgraded your power wires and replaced those. Got that taken care of. Bring the camera in here a little bit. We went ahead and also replaced your power chokes going to your main 4-pill and increased those. As most of you are aware. Yeah, I mean, granted, I know it's only a 1446 box, but this is all we had for main power. I did leave this one in on the 1-pill. It doesn't draw. So we've got your power wires upgraded. I went ahead and put for both sides. That way it's not going to worry about chafing or cutting into the aluminum or anything like that. So come on, camera. So we took care of that. Shortened up the leads on the output capacitance. That way, we can knock out some of the induction there, and also your 100 puff to ground that are from the collector over to the ground. Those were almost as tall as the transistors themselves. They've been shortened down. They're again to cut down on the inductance a little bit. You still have an air gap. There is a microscopic amount that they can change based on humidity and things like that. But really, on the input transistor, or the driver transistor, I should say, as well as these output transistors. So those have been changed. Same thing on your input, like I stated. I did use a little different capacitance here than what I did back here. These actually have SMD capacitors that I used, and a lot of it had to do with getting in here on these sides. Just made it a little easier to use those instead. So all four of those, I just used the same scenario with it, and replaced those, put those capacitors with the SMDs that I've got. So it just takes a little bit of the cushion off of it. So if it is a little overdriven, it's able to recycle some of it, and we don't have as much overdrive on the transistors. So it just helps buffer them a little bit to give it a little longer lasting life in the overall scheme of things. So we've done that. Went ahead and replaced all the wiring up here, going to your main board. This controls your relay itself. It also controls your preamp, and obviously your modulation light that is in the front. Get it up here. So preamp light, and then your low, medium, and high. Still works. It actually works a little bit better than it did when it came in. A lot of it just has to do with the overall design. We're not reinventing the wheel with this. We're just fixing what's here. Nothing, like I said, nothing major going on with it, but a few minor upgrades and what have you. So let's get to it. I went ahead and hooked up the code here with you. Show you what we've got. So let's get over to the meters. This is always the fun part. All right, so, and I'll show you what the voltage is here. Well, using a B&K Precision multimeter. I've used this now for about the last 7 years since I've updated it, and it works very, very well. I love the B&K. I've also got a Fluke Haven't been using it much here lately, but I do use it also from time to time. I just prefer the B&K for on the bench. So you're looking at 14.577 if we want to get down to the nitty gritty, but we're going to call it 14.5. So that's what we're running it at. I know that these can take a little bit more voltage, but that's what I've got my power supply preset at. So, all right, so we've got a 5-watt slug and reverse going back to the radio here for our input reflect. 5-watt slug going back to the 5,000 watt bird dummy load, excuse me, a 5 watt going back to the amplifier. 5,000 watt slug in forward for PEP, and our 500 watt slug in RMS. All this is going back to the 5,000 watt bird dummy load. So we're going to start in 1X here and show you that, then move over to the 2X, where we're going to be doubling that and going to the 1,000 watt scale. So, all right, so hello, audio. So definitely doing over 500 on the peak. Hello, audio. So right at about 600 PEP and about 200 bird, just using the Cobra 29 for the driver. I know we could drive it a little bit more and get a little more out of it, but that's generally the kind of radio that this was designed around. As far as on your reflect going back to the antenna, audio, only 0.2 of a watt reflect, and on our input reflect, hello, audio, we've got just under a 0.5 watt reflect, so still really good. Much better than what it was when it came in at a 3 watt reflect on the input. So we've got everything dialed in pretty good for you. Like I said, shortened up a lot of leads and a lot of just a lot of little miscellaneous, but too far from its heart to kill it. Everything else looks good. So what we're going to do is we're going to put the bottom on this, close it up. I will send you a message here with your total, because I know you've asked here for a couple of weeks, and I had it done with the exception of your power switch here for your LED. I'm sorry, for the power. The last time I hooked it up, it worked just fine, but I went to hook it up for the video and it went bad. So I just pulled the whole board apart and replaced all 3 of the LEDs and recessed them in just a little bit. So hopefully you'll like the changeover to the blue versus the old red. I know depending on the vehicle you put it in, it'll definitely be a lot easier to see. I'm thinking you're going to use this on the house for a driver, but either way, you're good to go, big guy. So take care, everybody. Like I said, I just wanted to touch base with you and let you guys see what's going on. So we are starting back into the shop here. My time is still extremely limited here in the shop, mainly because of me getting married and where we still have to do the translator. I don't know enough Mandarin yet, and she is still working on her English. So anyways, guys, you take care. Have a great night. Like I said, I just wanted to touch base and show Mr. Hood we got you up and going, big guy. And as soon as I finish up the video and get the screws in the front of this, I'll go ahead and send you a message with the total. And then that way you can go ahead and send me where you want this sent at, because I know you do drive for a living. So just send me back a reply, and then we'll figure out the whole money thing. All right, guys, take care. God bless. And we are back out for the evening.